Okay guys, today we're going to review subtracting with borrowing or regrouping. This will come in handy when we get back into division. So I uploaded this onto Google Classroom, so I want you to follow along with this video, but also you can do the work on your iPad or you can do it on a piece of paper, okay? So first, as always, you start at the end. So we start with the number 5. 5 is smaller than 6, so we can't subtract. So you're going to move over to the neighbor. We have 0. 0 has nothing, right? You can't borrow from 0. So we have to move over to the next neighbor, which is the 7. 7 you can borrow from. So 7 you're going to cross out and turn it into a 6. We're only taking 1 away. Then that 1 you take is going to go to the 0, and your 0 is going to become 10. Then we still have to borrow for the 5, so your 10 is going to become 9, and your 5 is going to become 15. Now we can check, is 15 bigger than 6? It is, so we can subtract. 15 minus 6 is 9. Then we move over, we have 9 minus 3, we can subtract. 9 minus 3 is 6. And then we have 6. 6 minus 1, we can subtract. 6 minus 1 is 5. So your answer for number 1 should be 569. All right, guys, this is number 2. So for number 2, you always are going to start over here. And 3 is the same or bigger than this number, right, which is 3, so it's the same. So we can subtract. So 3 minus 3 is 0. Then you move over to the next one. 5 is bigger than 3, so we can subtract again. 5 minus 3 is 2. And then you go to the last one, which is the first one in the number columns. And you have 2, which is bigger than 1. So you can subtract. So 2 minus 1 is 1. So the answer to number 2 is 120. Okay, guys, here's number 3. So you start here. 3 is smaller than 8, so we cannot subtract. So we're going to move over to the neighbor. 5, we can borrow because it's not a 0. So 5 is going to become 4, and your 3 is going to become 13. Now 13 is bigger than 8, so we can subtract now. 13 minus 8 is 5. Then you're going to move over to your 4. Your 4 is smaller than the 9, so you cannot subtract, so you have to borrow from the 5. The 5 becomes a 4, right? You're only taking 1, and the 1 that you borrowed is going to over here, and this is going to become 14. 14 is bigger than 9, so now we can subtract. 14 minus 9 is 5. Then we move over to this 4. 4 minus 2 is 2. So your answer for number 3 should be 255. Okay, number 4. Start here. 5 is bigger than 4, so we can subtract right off the bat. 5 minus 4 is 1. Next we go here. 9 is bigger than 8, so we can subtract again. 9 minus 8 is 1. And then you go to the last one, which is 7. 7 is bigger than 1, so we can subtract. 7 minus 1 is 6. So your answer for number 4 should be 611. Okay, guys, number 5, you're going to have to borrow. So you start here. 1 is smaller than 3, so we cannot subtract. So you have to go to its neighbor, right? You have to go to the 5. 5 is going to become 4. This right here is always, always, always going to go down by 1. So 5 will become 4. 3 would become 2, and so on and so forth. So because we took 1 from 5 to make it 4, your 1 right here will become 11. And 11 is bigger than 3, so now we can subtract. So 11 minus 3 is 8. Now we move over to the 4. Now, because we had to borrow, the 4 is too small, right? We can't take 5 from 4. It's too small. So we get our sad face. And we're going to have to borrow from our 2. Our 2 is going to become 1, and our 4 is going to become 14. 14 minus 5 is 9. And then we have 1 minus 1, which they're the same, so we can subtract, and 1 minus 1 is 0. So your answer to this one should be 98. All right, guys, this is the last one I'm going to do with you. And then I want you to do 7 through 12 on your own. But we'll get to that later. So, number 6. We have 8. And we have 6. So 8 is bigger than 6, so we can subtract. 8 minus 6 is 2. Then you move over to the 5. 5 is smaller, so we cannot subtract, right? 5 is smaller than 9. So we have to move over to the 6 and borrow. Your 6 is going to become 5. Your 5 will become 15. Because the 1 that you borrowed from here just goes over to your neighbor. Now, 15 is bigger than 9, so we can subtract. 15 minus 9 is 6. And then we have 5. 5 is bigger than 2, so we can subtract. 5 minus 2 is 3. So your answer for number 6 is 362.